He can play in this country, Tony.
Round next season. This could be the goal that means the Champions League. Can you believe this?
Manchester City was founded as St. Mark's, West Gorton, by members of St. Mark's Church of England in Gorton, Manchester. The club aimed to bring a sense of community and provide a positive outlet for young people. 1887. The club was renamed Ardwick AFC, reflecting its move to Hyde Road Stadium in the Ardwick district. 1894. Following financial difficulties, the club reorganized and became Manchester City Football Club. This was the start of its formal identity as it is known today. Early successes, 1904. Manchester City won their first major trophy, the FA Cup, by defeating Bolton Wanderers 1-0. This victory marked the club's arrival on the national stage. 1904-1910. The club experienced mixed success in the early 20th century, including finishing as runners-up in the first division and winning the second division to earn promotion. Struggles and rebuilding, 1920s, 1930s. Manchester City faced a turbulent period with relegations and financial instability. Despite these struggles, they reached the FA Cup final in 1926, though they lost to Bolton Wanderers. 1934, City won their second FA Cup, beating Portsmouth 2-1 in the final. This success provided a brief respite during an otherwise challenging era. 1937, the club achieved its first English League championship. However, their fortunes soon dipped again, as they were relegated the following season, despite being the league's top scorers. Post-war era and mid-century successes, 1950s, 1960s, Manchester City saw fluctuating performances. They reached consecutive FA Cup finals in 1955 and 1956, winning the latter in a memorable 3-1 victory against Birmingham City, where goalkeeper Bert Troutman played with a broken neck. 1968, under the management of Joe Mercer and Malcolm Allison, City won their second league championship. This period marked a resurgence, with City also winning the FA Cup in 1969 and the League Cup and European Cup Winners' Cup in 1970. Late 20th century struggles, 1980s, 1990s. The club faced significant challenges, including relegations to the lower divisions and financial difficulties. Despite brief returns to the top flight, consistent success was elusive. 1998. Manchester City was relegated to the third tier of English football for the first time in its history. However, the club quickly bounced back, winning promotion to the first division, now the championship, in 1999. Early 21st century revival, 2002. Manchester City returned to the Premier League, beginning a new era of stability and ambition. Despite initial struggles to establish themselves, the foundations were being laid for future success. 2008, the transformative takeover by Sheikh Mansour bin Zayed Al Nahyan brought significant investment, marking the beginning of a new chapter in Manchester City's history. Before the transformative takeover in 2008, Manchester City was a club with a rich history, but one that had faced significant challenges in the modern era. Throughout the late 1990s and early 2000s, Manchester City struggled with financial instability. The club faced mounting debts, limited investment, and an inability to compete with the financial powerhouses of the Premier League. In 1998, Manchester City was relegated to the third tier of English football for the first time in its history. However, the club showed resilience by securing promotion back to the first division, now the championship, the following year. Even after returning to the Premier League, Manchester City struggled to establish itself as a top-tier club. The team often found itself battling for mid-table positions, unable to break into the upper echelons of English football. The lack of substantial investment in both the squad and infrastructure further hampered the club's progress. Training facilities were outdated, and the club had yet to move to the state-of-the-art Etihad Stadium. Managerial instability also plagued the club, with frequent changes disrupting team cohesion and long-term planning. Each new manager brought different philosophies, making it difficult to achieve sustained success. Despite these challenges, there were moments of brilliance and hope. Players like Sean Wright-Phillips and Nicolas Anelka provided sparks of excitement, and the club's passionate fan base remained loyal and optimistic for a brighter future. By 2008, Manchester City was a club yearning for stability and success. The arrival of Sheikh Mansour bin Zayed Al Nahyan and the Abu Dhabi United Group marked the beginning of a new era, bringing the promise of unprecedented investment and ambition. Pep Guardiola's arrival at Manchester City in 2016 marked a significant turning point for the club, bringing his renowned tactical philosophy and a fresh vision. Here's an insight into his vision, tactical innovations, and the initial challenges he faced. Vision Guardiola came to Manchester City with a clear vision of transforming the team into a dominant force. Key aspects: possession-based football. Guardiola aimed to implement his trademark possession-based style of play, emphasizing ball control, quick passing, and maintaining high possession percentages. High up the pitch, winning the ball back quickly and disrupting the opposition's play. Player development. Guardiola focused on developing and improving individual players, both technically and tactically, to fit into his system. Winning mentality. Instilling a winning mentality and a strong sense of discipline and professionalism within the squad was crucial to his vision. Tactical innovations. Manchester City, which have had a lasting impact on the team's playing style. Positional play, juego de posición. Guardiola's philosophy of positional play involves players occupying specific zones on the pitch, ensuring optimal spacing, fluid passing lanes, and dynamic movement. This system requires players to be highly intelligent and versatile. Inverted fullbacks. One of his notable tactical tweaks was using fullbacks in more central roles during the build-up phase, essentially turning them into auxiliary midfielders. This helped overload the midfield and create numerical superiority in key areas. Flexible formations. Guardiola's City has often been fluid with formations, transitioning between a 4-3-3, 3-2-2-3, and other shapes depending on the phase of play and the opposition. This flexibility has made the team unpredictable and adaptable. Playing out from the back. Emphasizing the importance of building attacks from the back, Guardiola encouraged his goalkeeper and defenders to play short, precise passes to initiate moves, reducing reliance on long balls. Initial challenges. Despite his clear vision and tactical acumen, Guardiola faced several challenges upon his arrival. Adapting to the Premier League. The physicality and intensity of the Premier League posed a unique challenge. Guardiola had to adjust his methods to cope with the demanding schedule and competitive nature of English football. Defensive vulnerabilities. In his first season, City struggled defensively, conceding more goals than expected. The lack of a reliable goalkeeper and consistent defensive performances were significant issues. Player adaptation. Not all players were immediately suited to Guardiola's demanding style of play. Some struggled with the high pressing and positional play concepts, leading to inconsistent performances. Squad overhaul. Guardiola needed to reshape the squad to fit his philosophy, leading to significant turnover. Key signings and the phasing out of players who didn't fit his vision were necessary but challenging steps. Media and public scrutiny. Guardiola faced intense scrutiny from the media and public, particularly during periods of poor results. Questions about his ability to succeed in the Premier League and adapt his style were persistent. Pep Guardiola's arrival at Manchester City brought a revolutionary approach to football, characterized by innovative tactics and a clear vision. While his initial period was marked by significant challenges, his persistence, tactical brilliance, and ability to adapt eventually led to unprecedented success, establishing Manchester City as one of the most formidable teams in world football.